Gather around, children. Bring your mats, let the fire warm your toes and open your ears wide, for tonight I will tell you a story that has traveled far and wide, across rivers, through forests, and down dusty roads. It is the tale of a man who thought he had nothing, and yet gave the world something beautiful. Long ago, in a bustling town by the great railway line, there lived a beggar named Mosey. Every day, Mosey sat near the station, shaking his empty bowl, asking travelers for a few coins. With dusty clothes and tired eyes, he lived from hand to mouth, and each passing train brought him hope and hunger. One day, as the sun stood high like the eye of a lion in the sky, Mosey spotted a tall man stepping off the train. The man wore fine clothes, shoes that shone like morning dew, and a coat darker than a moonless night. "Ah," thought Mosey, "this man must be rich. Surely he will fill my bowl." So he stretched out his hand and said, "Kind sir, please spare a coin for a hungry soul." The tall man looked down with eyes sharp like a hawk's and said, "Tell me, beggar, do you always ask, but never give?" Mosey was puzzled. "Sir, I am but a beggar. I have nothing. How can I give what I don't have?" The tall man nodded slowly. "Then you have no right to ask. I am a merchant, and I believe in the rule of give and take. If you wish to receive, you must offer something in return." With that, the man boarded his train and vanished like smoke on the wind. That night, Mosey could not sleep. The merchant's words echoed in his ears like the drumbeat of truth. "If I never give, how can I expect to receive?" But what could a beggar give? He had no coins, no bread, not even a story to sell. 2 days passed, and still Mosey wandered in thought. Then, on the 3rd day, as he sat under the shade of a baobab tree near the station, his eyes fell upon something small yet bright, flowers blooming wild and free, like joy growing out of earth's laughter. An idea sparked within him, bright as lightning in a summer storm. What if I gave people these flowers in return for their kindness?" he whispered. And so, the next morning, Mosey picked the most colorful blossoms he could find. When passengers dropped coins into his bowl, he smiled and gave them a flower. A yellow one for kindness, a red one for generosity, a blue one for the busy mother, a white one for the old man with a cane. People were surprised and delighted. They began seeking him out, not just to give, but to receive his simple gifts of beauty. Mosey's bowl grew heavier with coins, and his heart lighter with purpose. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. And then, one day, a familiar figure stepped off the train, the tall merchant who had planted the seed of change in Mosey's soul. Mosey rushed to him with joy in his eyes. "Sir, today I have something for you. If you will give me a coin, I will give you these flowers in return." The merchant smiled, reached into his coat, and handed Mosey some coins. Mosey gave him a bundle of bright blossoms. The merchant held them gently, breathing in their fragrance like a man breathing in old memories. "Ah," he said, "you are no longer a beggar. You are a merchant now, like me." The words wrapped around Mosey's heart like a warm blanket, and as the train pulled away, he stood taller than he ever had before. That night, he looked up at the stars and shouted into the sky, "I am not a beggar, I am a merchant." The winds carried his cry across the land. The next day, Mosey was gone. The station steps where he once sat were empty. But 6 moons later, 2 men in fine suits were riding the same train. One looked at the other and said, "Do I know you?" The second man smiled. "Look closely. We've met before. Twice." The first man squinted, puzzled. "I don't think so. I was once the beggar at this very station. You told me to give before I ask, and when we met again I gave you flowers in reti.